Hello, all. This is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3. And in this particular video, I actually want to talk to you about how to actually increase switching costs. So this is part of my Strategy Saturday series. I'm actually a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship. And this is something that we might talk about if you're thinking about getting first mover advantages or something along those lines, where you are trying to be, maybe it's a pioneer in the industry, maybe you are thinking about driving up the prices of your particular thing that you're offering such that you can become more profitable. But switching costs are a really important thing to think about. So first of all, what is a switching cost? Switching costs are the costs that customers or users will bear when they switch to a different firm or a different technology. This is an important thing. This will drive you. So why is it actually important? Why are switching costs important? Is because that switching costs prevent people and users from going from your technology to another technology, or vice versa. If they're working on another technology or they're using something, another product, it's going to prevent them from going from that technology to another one. So it is a sort of exit or entry barrier, depending on which way you look at it. And it could sort of lead to greater profitability for your particular company or the product that you personally have because of these particular switching costs. And you might want to think about, increasing the switching costs if you're thinking about it that way. And what I'm going to do in this video is not necessarily get into, sort of the devious things of, tricking people and all that kind of stuff. That's garbage, right? If you're thinking about increasing switching costs, I'm actually going to tell you some really practical things that are probably going to develop your company a lot more in the long run. I'm a really big believer that companies should actually serve the market. And by serving the market, you're actually going to do, you're going to do good, and as well as, be more profitable in the long run. I'm a huge believer in that. So, how can you actually increase the switching costs? The first one is really intuitive, but a lot of people don't do this, is you just ask your customers, or you see what your customers are doing on your particular product and make it more customized and better for them, and make it really focused on what they are doing. So you're trying to solve their problems as much as possible. The more that you can actually solve their problems, the less likely that those customers are actually going to switch to something else, right? You are actually addressing all their needs. And what you're looking for is these particular problems and providing solutions as much as you possibly can for these problems. Now, you could do this personally as the company. You can, or as, you're the producer of this particular product. You can try to solve all of these problems as much as you possibly can. But then you can also create sort of systems such that people might be trying to you can get other people to solve the problems on your particular system. This might be like a platform strategy, right? Where you're trying to actually encourage people to participate and solve other people's problems on your particular platform, right? So Facebook is one example of that, or Upwork is another example of that. People are using their platform and it solves your problem of transaction costs across countries, and essentially reduces the transaction costs of finding somebody that is really useful in another country. The other thing you can do is actually invest in the customer yourself, right? So you're not actually investing in the technology, but you're investing in the customer. So you're trying to actually improve the relationship between you and the customer by actually investing in them and helping them out as much as you possibly can. So this might be actually providing maybe educational materials or something like that for your customer. It might be actually it might be actually trying to solve their problems before they actually even occur, right? Not through the technology, but through a service or something like that. But trying to actually invest in your customers to increase the cost, that they increase the likelihood that they're not going to switch someplace else, right? That's really what you're trying to do. A third thing that's really important that a lot of people don't think about is try to be as predictable or don't be unpredictable for your customers, right? So if you are providing a product or service and things are really unreliable, every time that you are unreliable in some sort of way, or that there's moments of unreliability, that reduces the trust that your customers actually have in your product or service, and increases the likelihood they're going to switch to something else. So it's really important to sort of focus on reliability and try to improve the reliability of your product or service that you're actually offering, right? That's a really important thing. Now, if you're starting out, you could just be open and honest and say that this product it's improving, and that's the thing with reciprocity right now. If you check it out, the E is with a 3, reciprocity.com. It truly is improving. I've been investing, or my family, my wife and I have been steadily investing in this and pushing it forward, and it has been improving. It's getting better. It's still a work in progress, but it is getting better, and it's hopefully serving more people. So, and the other thing to think about is look for products and services that you can offer that actually have increasing returns to scale. And this might be thinking about, so an increasing returns to scale is essentially products and services that actually get better as more and more people use that particular product and service, right? So looking for these sort of network effects, for example, that can be connected. So Facebook has increasing returns to scale as more people were using it, the more useful it actually got. Because you can find more people. Other things, like maybe it is like telephones, for example. There's lots of different products and services that are out there that have these increasing returns to scale, and you just have to look for them. And that's going to, what's going to happen is it's not necessarily the product or the thing that you're offering is going to increase the switching cost, but it is the fact that there are people on that system and they can get connected to other people or other systems, and that's going to increase the switching costs. It's the pull is not necessarily the technology, but it's more of who is using that and who's on that particular technology. And the last thing that I think is important, so this is the 5th thing that I think is really important that a lot of people forget, and we don't talk about this nearly as much within technology strategy, but becoming a trusted advisor, I think it's becoming, in this day and age, I think it's becoming much more important given the amount of content that you actually have to produce to actually sort of start getting traction. So thinking about how you can actually be a trusted advisor and do things that other people, and provide information that other people are going to enjoy. And it's not necessarily sort of relevant for the particular product that they're doing, but you are trying to be a provider of advice and trying to help people as much as you possibly can for the audience that you're trying to serve. So trying to focus on being a trusted advisor is really important. And trying to do that at scale is really important because that's going to increase the switching costs as much as you possibly, as much as that will possibly happen, right? So people are not going to switch to somebody else or another product simply because the product is not doing well. If you are actually trying to help out people and you actually are providing helpful information in other sources or other ways, right? So thinking about how you can be a content producer is really important. So that's all I'm going to talk about in this particular video. So as you notice, what I did is I actually talked to you, I told you what a switching costs are, why it's actually important to have these switching costs, and then gave you 5 different reasons or 5 different sort of factors that you can actually increase the switching costs going forward. That are actually really legitimate and really honest, and it's going to make you and your business excel going forward. So that's it. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and do subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, take care. Bye.